For over 100 days, fishing and coastal communities in Kerala have been protesting against the construction of the Adani International Seaport in Vizhinjam. Protesters have blocked roads, marched to the secretariat, set a boat on fire, and even stormed the project site. But the LDF government refuses to halt construction, which is one of the key demands of the protesters. So why are protests raging against the Adani port project? What are the demands of the protesters? And how has the Pinarayi government responded? Let me explain. Officially known as the International Deepwater Multi-Purpose Seaport, the Vizhinjam port has been in the works since 2015. It was the Congress government under Chief Minister Oomen Chandy which awarded Adani Ports the contract to develop and operate Vizhinjam port. Now, Vizhinjam is a coastal town about 20 kilometers from Thiruvananthapuram. Built at a cost of over 7,500 crore rupees, the port will be India's first mega transshipment container terminal. Now, the protests against the Adani port project have been going on since 2016. But the agitations intensified in August this year when protesters led by the Thiruvananthapuram Latin Catholic Archdiocese began an indefinite protest. So what are their demands? The protesters have 7 key demands. 1. Halt the construction of the port and conduct an environmental impact study. Protesters allege that since the construction of the port began in 2015, coastal erosion has increased. Father Eugene H. Pereira, the Vicar General of the Thiruvananthapuram Latin Catholic Archdiocese, told my colleague Sarita Balan that they are only demanding that the construction be temporarily halted, and they are not demanding that the project be scrapped altogether. 2. Take steps to mitigate coastal erosion. 3. Rehabilitate families whose houses were destroyed due to sea erosion, including providing temporary free accommodation. According to the Latin Archdiocese-led Action Council, over 400 houses were destroyed due to coastal erosion in Thiruvananthapuram between January 2016 and September 2022. But there's been no effort to rehabilitate any of these families. 4. Provide compensation to the families of fishermen who have lost their lives in fishing accidents. Fishermen say that the seas have become increasingly rough, leading to more accidents while fishing. 5. Provide a minimum wage to fisher folks on the days that they're not able to venture out into the sea due to adverse weather conditions. 6. Provide subsidized kerosene. While the Kerala government does provide a subsidy of 25 rupees per litre for kerosene, protesters say that this is simply not enough because the price of kerosene has skyrocketed. 7. Rectify the damages caused at the Mudalapuri harbour and make it seaworthy for fishermen. The fishing community say that the Mudalapuri harbour was unscientifically constructed, and this has led to a number of fishing accidents. So how has the state government reacted to their demands? Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has outright refused to stop construction of the Adani port project. He said stopping the project will be an injustice to future generations. The LDF government has also alleged that the protests were fueled by outside forces who are out to destroy Kerala's development. But the Kerala government has been holding talks with the protesters. So have any of their demands been met? Yes and no. The Pinarayi government has recently issued orders for at least 4 of their demands. The government has, like I said, refused to halt the construction of the Adani port project, but it did announce a 4-member expert committee to study whether the port's construction is causing coastal erosion. The panel, however, does not include an expert of the protesters' choice. The state government has issued orders offering to pay Rs 5,500 as monthly rent to families who have lost their homes due to coastal erosion. But Eugene Pereira told TNM that this amount offered was too less and that they were not consulted with the government unilaterally making this decision. As far as rehabilitation is concerned, the government has allotted 8 acres of land to the Fisheries Department to rehabilitate families who have lost their homes due to coastal erosion. With regard to the Mudalapuri harbour, the Kerala government directed the Central Water and Power Research Station to conduct a study on the circumstances that have led to recurring accidents. But the Kerala government's response to the other demands has not been categorically spelled out. The state government did agree to compensate fishermen on the days that they did not venture out in the sea. but a minimum wage is yet to be fixed. With regard to the kerosene subsidy, the Kerala government said that it isn't practical to increase it because the fishing community is moving to petrol and diesel engines. What's more, its hands are tied because the price of kerosene is fixed by the union government. Protesters, however, are refusing to give up their agitations. They say the government's decisions are arbitrary and taken without consulting them. Protests or no protests, the construction of the Vizhinjam port has been extremely slow. Adani Ports has missed several deadlines, blaming it on natural calamities like Cyclone Okhi in 2017 or the pandemic-induced lockdown or a shortage of granite. As per the latest revised schedule, the port project is expected to be completed by December 2023. Adani Ports, however, claims that the project has been delayed because of the protests and has demanded a compensation of over 78 crore rupees for the days lost due to the protests and for the damages to property. The Vizhinjam International Seaport Limited, a special purpose government company, has recommended that this money be recovered from the Latin Catholic Archdiocese, which has been leading the protests. The Kerala government, however, has refused to entertain this idea and has said that it does not want to provoke anyone and further worsen the situation. The News Minute has been following the story very closely and we will continue to do so. For those of you who can understand Malayalam, I do recommend that you go over to the News Minute Malayalam YouTube channel and check out my colleague Sarita Balan's interview with Father Pereira. And also a reminder to support independent news organizations like the News Minute. To do so, you can become a member. And as always, if you like this video, hit the like button and share this video with your friends.